Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Jay Encarnacion, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we're thrilled to have Anjeanette Carter, the founder of Stratus Media. Anjeanette brings over a decade of copywriting expertise, a unique background in acting and authorship, and a passion for helping CEOs and businesses amplify their brands through LinkedIn ghostwriting and conversion-driven content. Based in Los Angeles, Stratus Media is revolutionizing how businesses grow their online presence with minimal effort. We'll be exploring her founding story, how her business empowers clients, and her vision for scaling this dynamic venture. So with that being said, let's dive right in. Anjeanette, welcome to Founders Future.
Thank you so much, Jay. Thanks for having me. My gosh, can I have you just enter a room before I enter a room every time and just have you announce? So
we
because it sounds so good.
Thank you very much. We can make that happen. We can make that arrangement for sure. Truly a pleasure having you on the show, Anjeanette. Doing the background research on you. It's so important to have presence in LinkedIn. So having you here is going to be awesome for our listeners. So take us back to the beginning, if you can, Anjeanette. What
Oh.
specific problem in the content marketing or LinkedIn branding space really inspired you to start Stratus?
It wasn't LinkedIn when I started, so I've been doing this for a while now. And LinkedIn marketing was just barely a whisper or almost non-existent. So I really got my feet wet in the copywriting world. So I started as a copywriter, but I'm going to give you actually a really good story. So a lot of people, especially clients, will say, "Okay, so why should I hire you? How'd you get into this, Anjeanette?" And I always tell this story. When I was 19, my parents were like, "Get a job." And I was like, "No." And they're like, "You have to." I was like, "Fine." So I see an ad that basically says, "Make lots of money," with like big dollar signs. I was like, "Oh, this is just what I need." So I click on it, I call the number, and they said, after speaking to me for 2 minutes, they're like, "You're hired." And I went, "What? I'm hired." And I hang up and I go, "Mom, like, Dad, like getting a job is so easy. I just got one in like 5 minutes." So the next day when I showed up, it turned out they hired me so quickly because it was a commission only sales job in a boiler room. And because I was so like young and naive, I just assumed, "Oh, okay, you don't pay me unless I make money. Fine, that sounds legit." So but it is legit.
It is, yeah.
And it turns out I just dove head in first because you don't know what you don't know at that age. So I ended up becoming one of the top salespeople there until the FBI ended up raiding the whole place. Because it turned out it was not, it was a totally illegal operation. But
Life
that's
lesson.
another story for a different time. But it married my best skill. I basically honed all of my sales skills. And what I really wanted to be doing was writing. So copywriting ended up becoming this love child of my two best skills, which was writing and sales.
Incredible. So with that, I definitely want you to give us a real deep dive, especially for our listeners who, as I mentioned, so many listeners are living on LinkedIn, right? So this is a really big audience that can bring to your business here. So talk to us about how you're really generating revenue with Stratus, especially around the core offer there.
Yes, so I have my business has two sides to it. And if you go to my LinkedIn page, you'll see there is a split right down the middle of the banner
Yep.
because I serve two audiences. One is the copywriting. I still do copywriting for sales funnels, email campaigns, etc. So that is still something I do. But I pivoted more to LinkedIn ghostwriting and management for a couple reasons. One, I really enjoy it because I like talking to founders like you do, and I like getting those personal stories. I don't like BS. So I really like I like when people tell it as it is, whatever that truth is. And LinkedIn is a perfect medium to do that. And also, frankly, I got into it because I pivoted to that mostly just because of the recurring revenue. When you do copywriting, it's one and done. I've always been blessed to have lots of clientele, so it was never an issue. But I like to know, oh, I'm going to have this client next month or this client. So it's definitely a much better revenue model. And so that's why I'm putting a lot of my concentration there.
So that's the main focus. So talk to me, as you just mentioned, about kind of the acquisition side and the scale. So with that offer, how do you approach scale with that? Is this an operation that you're running on your own, Anjeanette? Are you a solopreneur? Do you have a team now that's
So
helping
I
you?
have a team.
Okay.
I'm a little different than other entrepreneurs you may speak to in the sense that my goal is not to have some huge, like, eight-figure agency. That's just not something that I ever envisioned. I don't want to run a team of 100 people. That's just not really what I'm looking to do. I enjoy making a lot of money, as everyone does, with a small team. So I do have a team that kind of supports me so I can scale, but I see myself scaling to a point. There, with some ventures, you want to just go to the moon, right? And it's like more is more. With something like this, especially when I'm dealing with founders are a particular type of breed. Founders are often perfectionists, hard to please, and demanding. And but then I have many lovely clients. I'm not like trying to say, but I have wonderful clients. I've also had some nightmares. But the fact is, when you're delivering to a founder or CEO, that is, you're delivering to someone that requires excellence, right? And scaling excellence is something that is tricky to do. So I am working on scaling more, but I definitely see a limit to that because I'm not going to be having 100 clients every month. That's not really where I want to go because I also do coaching for freelancers who want to make more money. And that's something that I really thrive on as well. So I like to leave space for that too.
Love it. So on that team, is it more of just kind of assistance to help you, or do you have
Yes.
sales and marketing assist? How does that look to
So
you?
I work with a lead gen company. I do believe in like a multi-pronged outreach strategy to get clients. So I do work with a lead gen agency. I have a team of VAs. I used to have a team of 7 writers, but with AI, I've actually been able to train some VAs to do some of that work. I leverage AI a lot in my business. It was something at first I feared as a copywriter, but now I strongly believe, especially in business, it's adapt or die. Like
Right.
you can't fear. You just have to pivot along the way and try, and you can't fall back and say, oh, this is how I've always done it, or this is, this is how I'm going to do it. I got to do whatever the world is doing and adapt along the way.
Love it. So, I mean, you just mentioned on a bit of the partner side, you have a lead gen company. So, walk us through what that acquisition side of things looks like for you right now. What channel is working the best, whether it's ads or referrals or
So
social
I
media?
do everything. So I do a mix. So you want to know how I get clients,
Oh,
Jay.
yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
here's how I get clients. Okay, so one is the best way to get a client is they see me on LinkedIn and then they reach out to me. And that's one of the reasons why I post on LinkedIn. It's because people see my content, they see what I'm doing, they go, "Oh, she knows what she's doing. Let me reach out to her." That is a way that I have a lot of my clients is they find me, which is obviously the best. But like I said, I like to scale. I like money, but to a point in terms of the scaling. So I still am always, because you have attrition. Not every people, if I have a client, they may stay for 3 months, they may stay for a year, they may stay for a year and a half. It just, you never know. So I'm always in lead gen mode. One, either they're coming to me, which is the best. Two, I do utilize marketplaces. I made over $1 million on Fiverr in 3 years just by doing those little itty bitty gigs, just working in volume. I still get clients from there. Upwork. A lot of people you'll poo marketplaces, but that's only because they don't know how to find the gold. So that's another way. I have a lead gen agency that uses AI agents to go out and solicit, do cold outreach. So I get sales calls from that. And trying to think. And then referrals as well. So I use everything I can to keep
Love
the
it.
machine running.
The machine is machining, it sounds like,
Yes.
for sure. Nothing on the ad side that I heard there, though. What?
No, I'm not. Yeah, I do not run ads currently. The only thing, that I run ads for like my personal digital courses, but that has nothing to do with my agency business. And I'm not even doing that at the moment. So, no, ads is not part of my acquisition strategy.
Would love to hear a bit about why on that side, especially with how many avenues you do have active.
Honestly, because with a lead gen agency, I only have to pay if I get a call. So it's like the lead is heavily qualified before I ever enter the picture. Whereas an ad, you got to pay for every ad. It's not like I'm against it, but I have so many other channels working. Like, I don't why pay when I don't have to.
Yeah, I mean, that absolutely makes sense on that front. With how well things are going, and Jeanette, what is it that you're thinking about when it comes to a bottleneck side of things, whether that
Mm.
is the consistent lead generation or converting your clients or the fulfillment side of things or hitting that capacity? What are you thinking about on a bottleneck right now?
I'll be honest, my biggest bottleneck is in my the biggest bottleneck in my business is me, as with so many entrepreneurs. But what I mean by that is when you have a lot of clients, there's a lot to juggle. And it doesn't matter if I have a project manager or a VA to help me out. It's like at the end of the day, they're still my clients. I'm forward facing with everyone. So I'm the person that either has egg on her face or has gets the compliments.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's being able to maintain my sanity in my own life while making sure I'm servicing every client in whatever stage they are in the month in terms of content and delivery, etc.
Well, that's paint us the picture then, Anjeanette. Things sound like they're really clicking on all cylinders for you right now. You have that growth appetite, but also want to taper it off at a certain point so you don't get overwhelmed. So, what does the rest of the year, 2025, going into 2026, look like for you, especially with what are you most laser focused on for that scale and growth?
I like that. I would like to increase my business about maybe about 30%. I'm looking to grow about 30% more, which sounds like a lot, but is not a lot in terms of clientele. It's actually not that many more clients. That's probably if I added another 10 clients to my roster, that's enough to make my head spin as well
Yep.
as I think that's something that I can manage that's realistic for me. And then the other part is that I'm focused on for 2025 is also just growing my own personal brand that I try to grow with others in terms of I do offer coaching. I have a lot of tricks of the trade, and that's something that I've been sharing on my Substack and something that I share on LinkedIn. So I'm looking to do more of that because when I am able to help someone make money as well, doing that like that, like nothing to me is more exciting than that.
So, for the coaching side, this is something you're doing on the side of the agency. Is that just one
Correct.
one? Do you do group stuff for that? Do you have just courses that you're putting out to help?
I've done all of the above. At the moment, I have a copywriting course that kind of takes you from zero to client attraction in 8 weeks. I'm probably going to sunset that soon. Right now, I'm focused on growing. I really want to become a valuable source for freelancers and people looking to build their personal brand. So I'm really focused in on growing my newsletter to really be, I want that to be the product, so to speak. And as needs come up, I'll make different courses that do those needs, but I want to be affordable. I'm not into high ticket, which people always say, how are you not into high ticket? I don't love high ticket. I like low ticket for everything because it's not too much commitment. And if I screw up, I didn't lose that much money. I'm a low ticket kind of gal.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. I really do. I love the energy. As clear as day. Your energy is 100% there. Incredible to have you on the show, really experiencing and listening to your side of it. And again, there's so many people that are on the other side of, oh, high ticket, but then you have people like yourself where it's like you're seeing so much success here. This is where you're going to focus. This is where you can provide the quality. So with that there, if you are able to look into the future a bit, talk to us a little bit about what you're personally seeing the content marketing industry evolving into in the coming years, especially with your human first approach in the age of AI. What are you really doing to position
Right.
yourself there?
Truly, one of the other reasons I've been pivoting towards the LinkedIn management is a bit of an AI hedge. Do I use AI in my LinkedIn management? Sure. Do my founders care? Not really. Because here's where I like an AI in writing. I do believe AI is going to take over certain things like content marketing. Like I used to have a lot of blogging clients years ago. That's not something I do really do anymore. Just for a few, I will, but that's not really what I do because I do believe that is something that is going to go out with AI. I think AI is going to eat a lot of that up. But this is what I have to say with writers and AI, et cetera. Think about this. Every VA out there, every executive assistant out there that let's say a CEO or a manager has, the manager and the CEO can do all of the things they're hiring the VA to do. It's not like they hire them because they don't know how to put something on their calendar. Is they do it because they don't want to do it. They hire people because they don't want to do it. People hire me not because they don't know how to write a LinkedIn post. They hire me because they have a business to run and they want someone to manage this channel for them. And whether you have AI or not AI, that sentiment is not going to change. So I think writers, copywriters, and anyone in the content space, if you're positioning yourself in a way that you're taking the load off, whether it's AI or not, the argument that I see with some writers and some people in content is human first, content's king. That's not the argument. I feel like that shouldn't be the argument. The argument should be like, let me do this shit for you. Who cares if I use AI? You're not gonna, as long as, of course, the key is becoming a master prompter. Become a
Yes.
master prompter, lean into AI, use it, and you don't fear it because look, I fear AI sometimes. It's not, trust me, I've lost sleep over it, but I can't let it fear me because this is where the future's headed. So I gotta ride the wave with it and see how I can continue to monetize.
And I think that's the biggest point there is what you said, because AI is not here. AI just doesn't do it on its own, right? We have to prompt it, right? So you have to know what you're saying and how to maneuver and how to write the right things, how to prompt the right things to be able to fully take advantage and have it benefit you and streamline processes. Hitting the nail on the head there, it's here to stay, right? Everybody has to
Absolutely.
get with it or you're going to be left
Are
in.
you on? And to
So,
speaking to what you just said, I've literally had clients come to me and said, "Hey, I used AI to write this website copy. It's terrible. Can you make it better? Oh, and please don't use AI." And then I go, "Okay, I won't."
yeah.
And then I go, I write the copy, I whip it up in 15 minutes. It's 1,000 times better than what they had. It hits all the notes. I give it to them and they go, "Oh my God, see, this is why we need human writers.
Yeah,
You're so good."
exactly.
And do I tell them? Oh, it
Yeah.
wasn't me. It's like it doesn't matter. What matters is they got the result they wanted, and my job is to deliver, to deliver. And I delivered with the AI. And the difference is they couldn't get what I got out of it because they are not master prompters and they're not copywriters, so they don't know what to look for, that et cetera, et cetera. And that applies to many industries.
Couldn't agree more. I love it. So with that, Anjeanette, I want to take us into the lightning round before we wrap things up. And on this side of things, I definitely want to hear about a tool or a resource. I mean, I have a good feeling with all the AI talk that we're doing, but what's one tool or resource that you're using that's just been a game changer this far for Stratus?
It is an AI tool, absolutely, and that tool is Claude. Claude
Mm.
is my preferred AI tool, and it is my coworker, and we hang together every day.
Yes, I love that. And then just to wrap up the show here, Anjeanette, what is a piece of advice that you can offer to our listeners tuning in, some that may very well be clients of yours once this airs? What can you give them before we wrap up the show?
And I'll tell you, I'll answer that with a question on what specifically, advice on what?
Whatever you feel. There could be founders with starting off their journey in business or in the middle of it.
Okay,
Or
it's okay. I got it. The
yeah,
advice, especially when it comes to LinkedIn, I always tell my clients the worst thing you can post on LinkedIn is the post you never hit send on. That it's your worst post is better than doing nothing. You always just start. Even if you feel like I don't know what I'm going to say or I don't really know, just you have to start. And if you know you're not going to be that person to start, then you got to hire someone like me to who's going to do it for you. But the answer is start.
I love it. With that, right there, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap up another inspiring episode of Founders Future. And Jeanette, can't thank you enough. Your energy is infectious. Incredible
Oh,
having you on the show, sharing your journey and your insights. Clear as day as to why you've seen the success.
oh.
Defiant at that age of 19, getting to some funky things, but look at where we are now. Amazing being able to have you on the show and hear your journey. And to our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, which I know so many of you have, don't forget to subscribe to Founders Future wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. You can also check out Stratus Media at stratus.media to learn more about their LinkedIn ghostwriting and content creation services. And follow Anjeanette on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/in/Anjeanette Carter. For more resources and insights, you can visit us here at closers.io, where we're dedicated to helping businesses accelerate their growth through trained appointment setters and world-class marketing systems. Until then, keep climbing, and we'll see you on the next one.